Yo. Hello. I have returned. I don't know what this music is, but sure. I like this as like royalty free. By the way, this song is for like infraction. I think it's a full infraction, no copyright music list. Anyways, hello everybody. We're back, dude. Oh my god, we're back. I'm for anti-women on German currency. We are getting to that in just a few seconds. Hello everybody. Welcome. We're doing a little bit of a different thing now that I'm back, because I wanted to do the voting thing in the morning, but then I forgot. So yeah, we're doing it now. I am doing, for the most part, fine. I have a sore throat from screaming, but to get that we get like later, right? So I think the best thing we could do right now would be for like stream start. We could do Jesus Christ, oh my god. We could talk about let's do it like this. We talk about the we're doing it like this. We're doing voting. Then we talk about the options we have. Then we talk about the fair, because the fair is funny. And then we do writing, which is a bit more like serious. So we're doing like an up down, right? So we're with all seriousness taking our right as EU citizens, right? What the fuck is this music, man? Walla walla walla. How about we turn walla 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 a tad down? Okay. So what we're doing is we start with the EU, right? I will open up my browser. It's right here. So first of all, you can get this this entire thing at ecb.europa.eu. There's like the central banking, and you can do like the thing there yourself. So I will read all the text. We're doing this, and then we talk. We're doing like more chatting, right? We're doing like, we can do the daily wordle as well if you want to. Yeah, we do the wordle as well. Why not, right? So I don't forget, we're doing set play. Okay, we do the daily wordle as well. So first of all, we're doing I read the text. I just need a sip of to drink. 1 second. Okay, the European Central Bank wants to have new bills, right? Our euro banknotes need getting a makeover, and you can be part of it. The last one we got was, I think at least the German ones. I don't know if like it was only Germany or euros in general. I think it was euros in general, right? We're like in the 2010s somewhere, right? They're like 10 years old, I think. On the next pages, you would see 10 possible designs. We would love it for you. We would love it if you could give us your opinion on each individual design by replying 2 questions below the design. It should take less than 10 minutes in total. You can switch between different banknotes of a design with the arrow buttons or by swiping. At the end, a few general demographic questions will help us to put your feedback into context with those other participants. Your participation is voluntarily and anonymous. For information, our data is processed, blah blah blah. Should you encounter technical difficulties, and so on. I think the new banknotes, I was working retail, and I started this in 2013. When were the last euro banknotes introduced? I think it was like yeah, 2013. See, I'm still on anime. Still for anime on currency. Dude, I would pay like for tits on currency. Just like I had the biggest boobas. And the biggest dongs, right? You can like say the coins are boobas because they look like boobas, and like the euros are like centimeters of dongs. So basically you have like the bigger the note, the longer the penis, you know? That would be funny. So how do you like this design? You can switch between the by swiping. So this is the one of the bird designs. I heard there were like birds and people. I hate this, by the way. Yeah, the 500 ones need to be like big, 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 you know. So I do not like this design. Not because it's not beautiful. I think it's like a nice European design with like the European birds on it, right? And like with like the lake designs and like some buildings of like some different architecture. But again, yeah, it's Chinese as money, and also I don't like that it's in photo mode. Why is it like in photo mode? Why is it up like why is it from like, you know how Eurobill looks like, right? It's like images. That's the Eurobills, right? This is like one of them, right? These are the newer ones with like a little bit more color. They're from left to right. They look like money, right? They have a number there, and then they have like this like from top to bottom bullshit. I don't like that it's from top to bottom. I hate that it's in like TikTok mode. Do not like it. Really do not like it. Does not convey the feeling of European. And these two, right? I think this is like the most like I don't know if you see it like, but I would say the design does not convey a feeling of being European. It's like not 100% European in my opinion. And then you have like the design does not feel like a Euro banknote. This looks like I don't know. It does not look good. Because the banknotes generally look bad. No, that's not the case, right? They do not look bad in generally. I think for something else that would be better. But for example, like this up here, why is there Earthworm Jim or whatever going on here, right? The design of the banknotes of this are hard to tell apart. No, they're not. They're like colored very clearly differently. And I cannot personally relate to that design. Nah, no. Okay, we've got this. This is like with people now. We have Mozart there. How do we feel about this? I have a strong opinion about this. They're taking contrasting colors, but they are like way too heavy in my opinion. You know what they look like? Have you ever gotten like a coupon? Like a coupon for a store? This looks like the Mozart one especially. Looks like a coupon for like the opera. And like not only that, it like looks like when you have like someone who's trying to scam you on the street, right? It was like, oh here, it's like 100 euros as a present. Like they would give you this. Yeah, 2000 football trading cards, yeah. I like the Vario-esque coloring here. I think this is like the awful one. Because they took like the sickish green and then like this neon pink. Really do not like it. I think the previous one we had to do not like it. I think I like this less than the previous one. Logan generally bad. Different banknotes of this design. Design-wise, they fit very well together, but they could be banknotes. The different banknotes of this design are hard to tell apart. No, the design does not convey European. I mean, it looks like, you know, that it's European, right? But it's like basically like the field they had, right? And the not only the field they had, but also the person related to it. I get that, but I think it's the upper two, right? The different banknotes are hard to tell apart. No, they are not. They are like very clear to tell apart. The design does not convey a feeling of being European. I think this would be a lie if I say yes to this. And I cannot personally relate to this design. No, I can somewhat relate to it. I think I take these two. We have birds again. Okay, we're switching back to birds. So look at these like very intently, like with like very much intent, and like make your own opinion before I say something. 10 euro bill. I like that 10 euro bill. I don't think they would do AI art. I think this is like designer stuff. The penmanship is way too detailed for AI art. Like, in terms of like look at this. This is like definitely drawn like paper on like pen and paper, and then like colored in. It could be that it's AI assisted, but this looks fine to me. We have different buildings. Sadly, I do not know every of these buildings. I'm not very good at like modern architecture. I like it. I think I like them. This one I like. It's in the right format. It has like very clear distinction between the nodes. I think I like it. Please do up to 3 answers. You're personally not a fan. Why? Because of the birds? I would be persuaded of my like it. Okay, you like the birds. It looks so planned. Okay, you mean like they're very simple, right? I think they're like a bit too colorful and look like Monopoly money, right? But that was a criticism with the last Euro bills as well. Like when those came around and we had like those in our store, right? Many people said they looked like Monopoly money because the first ones were these, right? I think these were the first ones, or were these the first ones? They're not the same, by the way. I would say I like it. Banknotes look really generally good. Different banknotes of the design go well together. I think this is true. The design feels it could be Euro banknotes. I think everything except for this one. 50 looks a bit too fake. But the rest, I think 50 is too extreme, because 50 is just, you see like every node, right? Okay, every node has basically like a very like saturated color in the front, and it goes like very like gray scale in the background. You have that on everything, right? Bird sits on rock, and in the back it gets like, it's not red anymore. But it has like somewhere in the front, it has like the deep colors. And this one feels just like too much orange. Easy to tell apart, definitely. I can personally relate to this. Okay, now we have these. Okay, oh god. Design proposal C, guys. So same people. This time with So how do you feel about this? Because I have a strong opinion. Absolutely, I agree. This is Uncanny Valley. because they somehow, I think this is like AI renders, or like and he's like trying to like render them like a photo, and it looks creepy. Followed by I like that you have like the star signs. If you look at this, right, several like stars that align to like form certain pictures above Europe. I think that is very cool on the lower part of the bill, right? This looks really good. But then this middle part on everything. I know it's like supposed to be. I know you're not like seeing this directly, right? But like this is like for culture, right? And then when you flip it over, you have like basically like Europe down there with like the sign, and then like you have like here you have like a piano. If you look at it, right, it's like an abstract piano with like people doing music. And then you have like scientists, like science up here, with like, of course, a university down there. And then you have like literature here with like, well, a library or whatever down there, right? And it goes like for every design, for agriculture and stuff like that. It goes like for every kind of design, but it's like too much cartoony. That is too cartoony for me. I think I really do not like it. They look in general really bad. Does not feel it could be. This, right? I cannot take a third one. Otherwise, I would say I cannot personally relate to this as well. But this is like the one. Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. What do you feel about this? I have to say, my opinion, this looks actually like the best one we have seen. I love this one. This is so good. I really like this. I know it's birds again, and we like I know this, but like I like the color play here, right? Where like everything that's like a little bit of like a color gradient, and then we have like the red and blues working together, and you have like always like the little bit of green there shining through, except $50, 50 euros. This is the only one that does not have this, right? Everyone else has like other color shining through, but 50 does not. This has like a little bit of yellow, and this is like blue. I like this the most. Generally look really good. The design go well together. Feels like it could be Euro banknotes. And then we go, what the fuck? Why do we have insects? Why do we have, no. Why do we have randomly frog? Now we have shrimp. And now we have fish. So we have like moth or fly. We have dragonfly. We go to like bee, I think. Frog. This is like super shit, man. That's like I don't understand it. Can we find something good in this so we don't like rate it the worst? I like the stripe here with like the different European fields, as you can see up there. That is like basically what happens is, look at this. You have like scope, then you have like a satellite, then you have what looks like, I don't know, it looks like a that I cannot see. I don't know what this is. And then we go with the Zeppelin. Then we go with like Then we go like with the plane, and then we go with like a satellite. So like we go higher, 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 you know. And this is, I think, food chain, right? So this gets eaten by the dragonfly, gets eaten by this bug, gets eaten by the frog, gets eaten by the shrimp, gets eaten by the fish, right? But I do not like this. Because I have to say, you know what I hate most? That they took like actual photos of birds. This is like actual bird photos. Look at this. It's like actual, like just like copy pasted birds onto this. Really do not like this. Do not look gay. Design does not. The design does not, except for like behind it, does nothing for Europe, right? You know what I also hate? That we all have like these modern ass European buildings on the background of these. I think like most of our architecture turned into shit. Everything like look how like German cities look. Like they look like for the most part all so bad nowadays because everyone is just doing like I don't know, gray boxes. So the bank lords are appeased that the building costs like 10,000 euros less. But it does not feel like it could be Euro banknotes, yeah. Oh my god, no. This is the worst version of the one before, dude. Holy shit. Why does it look like I'm turning into like a daily soap where these characters have like an introduction by themselves, right? Or like a weekly crime drama where they all have like done something bad. Not Breaking Bad, Breaking Europe, right? Oh my god, do not. I think I like it more than the other, but like only because the design is like in the better format. Look generally bad. No, well, yeah. Okay, now we have drawn birds again. And apparently someone throwing gang signs. So now we have... What the hell is this, dude? Are these birds dead? Oh no, oh my god, I just now see what they do. You see what they do? They mix the two designs. They want to do the you need to turn your head 90 degrees to the left because they are doing a mixed thing. They're doing like one side is like proper and the other side is a heathen. The other side is like supposed to be seen from this, like from top to bottom instead of from left to right. That's why the birds are all dead. They have their feathers there, which is kind of interesting as a design. But this is like way too extreme. And I don't know again why my hand is like, why they're throwing hand signs. I know what they do. They're doing the same thing that the others did with like the scientists, where like everything is like showing something Europe does, right? Is known for like science, and he has like writing and so on and so forth, right? But no, I don't want to have like my hand signs in like my Euros. I do not like this. Different banknotes of this design do not go well together. Does not feel like Euro notes. Does not convey the feeling of being European. Okay, now we have the return of the guys. We will not get rid of them. But now they're not AI renders of the guys, right? They're drawn. They're drawn people. Now they're like drawn with codes or something like that. They're not like the AI renders we saw before. I prefer Burp as well, but I really like this. I like the other sides for this. This side looks good. Like €5 looks really well. €10 looks really well. €20 looks like a bit overloaded in my opinion. This is a bit too, again, like I don't know why they do 50 so dirty in this one. 50 is like always like the shittiest. Because it's like so bright orange all of a sudden. I don't like 50 as bright orange. 100 and 200. 200 we don't need to bother with, right? 200 is so rare, but I like it. They look, in general, they look good. Different banknotes go well together. And Europe. Ugh. Oh my god, why do they get mug shots? Why do they? Yo, bro, do you wanna, can you take like this picture for my profile pic for like Instagram? Can you take my Instagram shot? Dude, she looks like she's like, you put sunglasses on her, she fits perfectly on like a pseudo influencer on Instagram. He looks like he's mewing very much to get like the Sigma male look. She looks like actually like fine. She looks like a profile picture. He as well. He as well. And she as well. But the first two are like, holy shit, what did they do to my boy Mozart, dude? Wolfgang, please. I do not like it. They do not fit the designs with one each other very well, in my opinion. The design does not, well, it does convey it. The design does not feel like it could be Euro banknotes. I cannot personally relate. Wolfgang on the hazard. Oh, that was it. So we said our favorite would be, let's go back, right? We said our favorite would be probably this is like the best birds, right? I think this is the best one. I really like the birds, these birds. Even though I would love to have the birds and the historical figures. I would not have buildings. If we could get a mix of birds and people, that would be the best, in my opinion. I am in this area up to this point. I'm still young. Fuck you. What's your gender? Male. I am not like I'm not female. I do not identify as something else than male and female, and I am not ashamed to say this. Which yeah, I'm going to dox myself. What is the highest level of education you have completed? Easy. Officially, I have a bachelor's. I have a bachelor professional, but I am a bachelor. Besides the survey, where else would you, did you hear about this? I heard about it on the radio, actually. I heard it from friends and family. I heard it on social media. And at work. Okay. We did this. Let's hope that our birds win. Remember this? So when the official design is, if I was right, because that is the most important thing. Let's do a Wordle. Give me a word. Just give me some word to start with. We're playing Wordle on hard mode, by the way. We are not allowing to use other letters than we cannot use letters. What? I'm old. Old man does not fit. But I can say elder. Oh, L on second spot. Plato fit. Plays. We have an A, but not on spot 3. I cannot say anything else without an A and an L anymore because I turned on hard mode. I think, yeah, hard mode. Any hint must be the subsequent guesses. Aloof, maybe? Bro, nearly. Low. We have ALO. ALO. We need to go further. What words with alone, right? No. Along. Shit. Yeah, music drops now. We have LO. Alone we cannot do. We don't have an E, so how Wordle works, right? Everything that's gray is not in the word, like dark gray. So we have like only Q, W, T, U, I. And we know that there's no two O's, but we could have another A. Hello. We only have 5 letters. I will explain how word works. So you have like a 5-letter word, you don't know the word, you just type something in, you have hints. And at the moment we can only have like hello at the point where it is and like have 2 different letters or 2 other letters to form a word. So we have like 5-letter words. We can have something like there's nothing like alloyed, right? Low. 1 letter too little. We need 5 letters. A loch. What? Allowed? No. Allowed would be. Hello. So no O, right? I don't know. Actually. A low-key. Aloth. Is there like Aloth? No, sadly. Our favorite Pillars of Eternity character, which we still have not finished. Hello. Hello. I will do the no. Allow. I don't know. Allowed. We did this on. I'm just trying letters, so I'm not stupid, right? I know this is dumb, but there's some English words I do not know. Dude, how am I so stupid? Hello. Bro, what words are there in the English language that I'm missing, dude? Lowly. Hello. I'm too stupid for this today. What the hell? You know what? Let's try this. This does not help us at all. A lot. Alola. Aloli. Alolo. I do not know anymore. Oh my god, it's not Aloha, it's Aloha. Oh my god. That was a good guess. So that's how Wordle works. Good job, we did Wordle. We can play connections, and then we can talk about the fair, and then we can do writing, right? Okay. Connections works a little bit different. There's 4 rows of 4 words, and you need to group 4 together in a well way that they have a meaning together, and everything needs to come together at the end. So for example, I don't know, say we say, like, for example, steak. No. Primo, hijo, abuela, and Naira. I don't know. A Kwanzaa. Nope. This does not work. We have 2 guesses left. Maybe we have something else. Mall, choke, poker, mist, steak, club, tear. Maybe this? Nope. I'm not good at connections. Africa mentioned, yeah. This is one of the things that I do not know anything about. Club poker. What are some poker games? Or like some card games. But it could be something that is like totally unrelated to the 4 words. It could be like something, hey, every word ends on an E or starts with an M. You need to look into everything. For example, Mormas, Madre, and there's no other one with M. Primo, hijo, abuela. Is it like another Spanish word there? Help me. Because I don't think there is one, right? Or is Leone a Spanish word? Madre is French, right? So let's try this. So what was it? Spanish relatives. Fuck, Madre was the Spanish one. God damn it. What was the results now? We had African currencies. We have strip, club, mall, poker, steak. Strip steak. Start to cry with up, choke, up, missed, up, no, choke up, missed up, tear up, well up, okay. I would not have gotten this. Well, let's talk about the fair. Okay, this should not have happened. We went to a fair earlier. So what happened was, my family and I, we scheduled a visit to the fair. We were going there, and we were talking about stuff, and it was like absolutely fine. We went there with my niece, my brothers, my two brothers, my sister-in-law, and my brother's girlfriend was not there, and my parents. And we went there. And usually I'm like, for fairs, I'm very skittish. I'm a very skittish person, right? Let's switch it to like something fitting. Royalty free circus music. Yep, absolutely fitting for this clown show. So I'm very skittish, right? I do not like rides on a fair. I do not like roller coasters in general. I'm not a roller coaster person. I scream like a maniac on a roller coaster. I can have fun on a roller coaster, very much fun so. I went on many roller coasters in my life. I have fun when I get, when the ride is fast, I love the ride. When the ride goes up and down like crazy and does like loopings and stuff like that, I do not enjoy them as much. I'm not a fan of like loops and like crazy up and down rides, right? So we had a few rides. Most of them we did with all the family, except for like my niece and my mom, because my mom does not like fair rides. Get in the Gundam. I don't get in the Gundam. And then there's like certain things, right? There's like let me quickly look at what we had. So we had like okay. We had like one attraction that was like basically like a normal like carousel. Do I find a good picture for this? Not the Himalaya, not like the Wilde Maus, how we also call them in Germany. It was like a carousel, basically, that goes like diagonally up. So you would like be like, it's like a carousel, you're like in a gondola, you're just like spinning. And then it would like turn diagonal, and so it would go up and down. But the main thing is, it would like also turn within itself. So what it does was, you would like go up and down, right? In like rounds. And when you do, you would turn in the gondola yourself. The guy down there would like let you ride backwards, and that was horror for me. I hate that. But it's like basically, I do not like this. Like I go up in the air and I go down, and I go up in the air and I go down very high, like right, like a fucking like trebuchet. but like then also turning around. I was screaming my ass off. My brothers were laughing their ass off because they know I'm squeamish with this. I was like the guy the entire like right, like the entire time, but laughing as well. I have my fun on this, but I scream like a madman. Like I'm the cliche man. Everyone down like on the bottom was laughing about me. So yeah, it goes back like the one we were on again. The ride I'm talking about. Like every ride we did go backwards, but but like the first ride was that right. It's like, oh my god, I was screaming so much. It's I have a picture. Yeah, I have a picture of this basically. It's basically, let me open up the web browser. This one. It's basically this, like you sit in the seat but you can see that there's like motors up there, like on the top left, green one. You see that there's like a little spinny thing. So you would spin around as well. And so it would go like, also you would turn backwards and sideways. And that was like too much for me. I was screaming like my ass off, dude. Which is why I'm sounding so a little bit rough. I won't have a voice tomorrow. So I was screaming my ass off, right? I was like, but still laughing. I cannot do my scream right now. This would like probably be the same voice I would do if I play something like Up or something like that. Where or like Peak. Peak is the game, right? Where I play Peak and VR and fall down a cliff, dude. I would scream my ass off. Anyways, I was screaming like crazy. My dad was laughing because he was sitting with me in the same gondola. So I was sitting left, my dad was right. So I had like the higher forces as well. And my dad was like laughing his ass off. My brother, my brother was in front of me, and my brother and my sister-in-law, my other brother, my older brother, they were sitting behind me. They were all laughing, but everyone down there was laughing as well. So if there's a video of a guy screaming like a madman on like a kid's carousel, that's me. So if I go famous because of this, one way to get fame. Anyway, there was like also this like one carousel, I'm looking for it right now, that we did after this, and that is also not that bad, but I found it worse than the one that spins and throws me in the air. There's like this like one carousel where you sit like attached to a wall in seats and you do nothing but go in circles. Like you sit and then it would go like clockwise and counterclockwise. This one basically. There was like a video back in the day of like one of these like falling over actually, which does not help me. I think I have the image. Nope, I don't have the image. It's like this thing, right? Where you'd sit in the seat and it would go like, there's like backwards, there's like to like giant extensions, and it would like go clock and counterclockwise. You would go up and down and go in circles the entire time. And the driver goes faster and faster and faster. So you have like this inertia of you just like lifting off your seat because you're like basically like landing and then going up, getting pressed against the seat, and then while you're going down you leave your seat. Dude, that one was scary. I was screaming like a madman. Like that was like scary because the seats were already too small. I was sitting down, and as you may have noticed, I'm a bit chubby. So I'm sitting down, I'm like sitting in the seat, and I feel like my left and right sides just like being squished. I was like, oh no, right? And then like I was like sitting in the seat, basically like where the four gentlemen on the right are in the red seat. That's roundabout where I sit, right? Our seats were all blue, so I cannot tell, but it was roundabout where I sit. So my dad was sitting to my left. No, my dad was sitting to my right. My little brother to my left, and left of my little brother, my big brother. My sister-in-law did not want to ride this because she knows she hates this, right? But yeah, we're like sitting there, and the guy attaches the seats. And what happens is he presses the bar as far as they can against me because I am chubby again, right? And the thing does not lock. It just simply does not lock. And then they go with 2 people and press against it. And my balls were squished, dude. I felt like I know what cock and ball torture is now. Like literally, I know what it is, and I do not like it. So today I learned something about myself. So anyways, I got CBT'd. And then it just clicked once, and they said, well, it needs to click twice. And I'm like, oh, sadly, I cannot write this then. I'm sorry. And then they were like, because I was like already feeling uncomfortable. And they're like, no, everything's fine. We have like customers who are like a little bit like bigger as well. It's fine. We attach you and the thing. We attach everything to like these like high performance ropes with like hooks, and we hook you in. We just hook you in and everything will be fine. It will hold. Right? And like they were like, I will hook you in with like these hooks and ropes. It's fine. We do this more often than not. It's fine. Nothing happens. This will like stay perfectly still, right? And I was like, oh god, I'm going to die here. This thing is like going one round, presses me in the seat 100%, right? I go this round, it presses me in the seat. Then when I'm on top, it goes down and I fall out of the thing 100%, right? I was like, for me, like this is a death thing. Like I wanted to leave, and then they said, no, let's go, right? And I was like, scream my ass off, because every time I was lifted, nothing happened, right? Everything was fine. I went up, everything is fine. And then I go down. I need to show you my... You can't see my cursor, right? Yeah, you can see my cursor. There. So every time I would go up, right? I was like here, and then we would go down. And I was thinking like, oh god, this thing detaches and I fly basically to the left out, right? No fucking way. So I'm like sitting there. And the thing is, the bar actually like slightly nudged. Because it was not 100% like attached. And I was like screaming my ass off. Like I was like literally, oh my god, right? I sounded like I sounded like Camila, the VTuber. Yeah, it spins 360 in some versions. It's awful. I was screaming like Camila, stop. Basically, I was like, stop, stop. Right, basically. I was like screaming. I was laughing as well, but I was screaming. And there was like a young lady. She was like in her 20s, right? Like mid-20s maybe. And she was laughing her ass off who was controlling. They said like, she was like, well, you're on it now, you're not coming out. And she increased the speed to maximum for the rest of the ride. And I was just screaming. And everybody, because they had the restaurant, like, you had like places like where you could eat and sit down with like beer and stuff like that. They were like looking like hundreds of people and laughing all the way while I was doing my death scream routine. Like, not only did like the people record me on the spinner thing, but no, they would like laugh at me as well. And now we get to the last part. After this, my brother and my sister-in-law left because we did like some other stuff. We did like crane games and stuff like that, right? Stuff you do like on like a fair, like funny shit. We ate something. We talked, right? We did like some. My niece did like some child thingies, right? Like I ate a good old Backfischbrötchen or like deep fried fish in like a bun with like nice aioli garlic mix cream on top of it, and a little bit of like citrus. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was very good. So like and then I ate like a slush ice with like maracuja, citrus, and orange. So I have basically like an alcohol-free cocktail because I needed something to like get my adrenaline down, because I was like adrenaline shot like the entire time. I'm like shaking after like a ride, like even on like a roller coaster. I'm shaking after this, even if I have fun. But there's like pure adrenaline talking, right? It seems I hate these, but I actually enjoy this. But I will scream. So everyone was laughing, right? But everyone was like very cool. Like they high five. They were like very cool. Like one guy came to me and high fived me. He was like, "Dude, you're a riot," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, "Oh God, if I would be," in my head I was like, "If I would be a riot on stream, everyone would watch me." Anyway, so like the last ride, and now I'm hiding this to open up Discord. It's a so-called, in Germany it's called Wilde Maus, in other countries apparently it's called Himalaya. It's basically what it is basically a form of carousel where you sit in a car. I will show a back shot of me, right? That's me, you know me. Of like me sitting in the car, and you drive in circles. But it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? It goes like it goes like half round up and then half round down, and it gets faster and faster. It gets really fast. It's a backshot in 4K. I'm not bored actually. It looks very bad with like very bad lighting, but if you see me in the wild, it looks okay. With like lighting, like my hair is thinning. I have to accept this, and I am getting bolder, but it's not that bad, right? But anyways. So I'm like sitting there, and my brother, like everyone left, my parents left and stuff like that, and my brother and I, we were, I stopped the music for this. My parents and I, we were like, oh yeah, now everything's fine, right? Everything is okay. We are going home, everyone's going home, everyone's fine. I would be like here earlier if I would not have done this. But my brother and I were like, okay, we are doing this because it was on the way home. So we were like, okay, let's ride it. Nobody else wants to ride it. We ride it, right? My little brother is like, always open for this. He loves this shit. The only thing he does not like is like these like spinning teapots, because he does not like carousels that turn within themselves. He cannot handle this, which I can handle very good. I have very much fun on this. But yeah, anyways. And then we went on this, right? We went on this. The cards were going. We skipped the first ride because it was backwards, and I was like, no, I'm not driving this backwards, because the guy in the booth was like, yeah, let's go for like half the ride, go just full speed, because one kid just said faster, 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 and like everyone in the end just being like that. There was like someone who vomited. Like it was like very, very bad with the guy. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this backwards. I don't want to be like another guy who's like vomiting all over the place. I don't want to do this. Like enough people laughed about me, right? But I found me entertaining enough to like hear me scream. Anyways, I should take money for this. Regardless, so we went into the thing, and my brother had his mobile phone out, even though he should not have. Like I do not condone the actions of my brother. First of all, filming without asking me, and second of all, doing this while the ride was at its fastest, which is like actually like not 100% safe, because if he loses his phone, that can like become very, very dangerous. So please do not do this. I say this as he did the thing. So he like, because he was sitting behind me, he wanted to sit behind me, and I was wondering, why do you not want to sit in the same car as me, right? He was like, yeah, you get squished and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, but then we sit one behind the other. My brother is like, I'm not sitting in front of you, because if you scream, I don't want to get to like I don't want to get like to the ear doctor tomorrow, because I have like pain in my ears. So I'm not sitting in front of you, right? And I'm like, dude, this does not make sense, because how sound works, you would like drive away from the sound, right? So like I was like not questioning it until I saw the recordings in our family group chat. And then I said, okay, let's post it on Discord, because I have nothing to lose. I want to talk about this. And everyone knows what I look like. If you do not know what I look like, just look back, and then like there's me, right? And I need to do the filter. There is like a filter for Discord in the scene. Give me 1 second. Audio. Okay, this should work. Okay, now we have this, and then we can turn up the audio. And then we do like I scream very loud. The screams you hear are me. The laughing you hear are me. That's me like screaming and laughing. I can go very high when I scream, and I couldn't go like very like right. This is like my I can sound very anime, but anyways. I will turn on the volume a little bit. That was me. Wahoo! That was me. My brother is like the one giggling in the background. And then we have the next one. Then we have the next one. The woo was also me, and then we have the last one. That's me laughing. Oh my god, that was cringe. Yeah, that was like, so like this is what I sound like the entire time. Like when I go high speed on the ride, I'm like the entire time like right. It's like my standard like mode of like sound, and I'm very sorry for this for everyone who I disturb with this, and who I like actually like am a pain in the ass for. But it's just like how it works with me. Like I cannot stop it. I'm just like my air wants to go out, and I cannot sit there like very. Okay, my audio's gone. Okay, now it's back. It's like I cannot do anything for it, and I'm very sorry, but like I cannot do this like right. I cannot do this. I have like to be loud. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the carnival story. And then we went home after this. We didn't eat anything. We didn't do like crazy stuff, right? We just like said, okay, we scream and we ride, and that's how I sounded on every ride, by the way. So you can now imagine how it sounded for everyone else in the entire world when I was screaming my ass off on every ride possible, because I was like sitting there like the entire time. But yeah, that's that's that. That's 1 hour of our time spent. Dude, only 1 hour. I thought we were like at 2 already. That's felt longer than it was actually. Okay. Let's not do the game, the browser capture right now, because I'm doing a quick announcement. Then we are going into riding. Yeah, do like a come back when you can. See you soon. Okay, I'm preparing riding. Just give me this second. Tabletop. Okay, we have done this. We need to do this. We need to open up the Notion. I think this is fine. Okay. Good, we're back with riding. I will come back in just a minute. I need to grab something to drink, and then we will go with our riding stream. Okay, now it's working. What the hell? I should press the unmute button. So, anyways, welcome. I'm back. Okay, now we have it. So what I was saying, I'm not repeating what I said earlier with my soccer pants, but I felt very cool, and that's all you need to know. So yesterday we did some writing. We have some writing today, and this writing that we are doing today why food in Minecraft Kinder eggs today? What is why food and Minecraft Kinder eggs? Is it the kobolds? I mean, we could form this into like who we're doing, right? We could get a little bit deeper on the kobolds because we have like the kobolds. We found out that we have done not much with like pre-flood because we like then wrote like a little bit about the timeline and the 3 wars and stuff like that. We have the kobolds. We have the centaurs in their entirety. The Goloma, the Circi, the Skeletons, and the Anadi. Those are the last that remain as like those who do not have like a pre-post and current timeline. I think, right? The Colo are still also very, very basic, but we know what they did during the meantime, right? When we need to at least define with the kobolds, they are defined. They are just not like historically expanded. Get coked up. I'm not getting coked up. Why are there so many ads playing? Oh, the coloration model. So, who do we start with? We could do the short ones today, knock them out of the park, but that is like only quantity. I think with like the nice contrast of yesterday, I don't want to repeat the kobolds as like Minotaur's history, but like from a different side today, I think. I think kobold expansion we do after on Monday. Because I think that we can do kobold expansion, probably the skeletons, and probably also the Anadi in one stream on Monday. So we do either the Golomi and or Circi, and we do the centaurs. One of the two, one of the 3. Give me a shot. Shoot me like one of the things, and we will. No, that is something we can talk about now. Okay, what is the top half of the centaurs? We have a lot of people to pick from, or we can make something up. Why would you suggest wolf for the centaurs top half, if I may ask? Just like thinking about it. I mean, we have it now with the Shuni, right? But we can do more canine representation. How about we do something else with the werewolves? Oh shit, I spoiled what I wanted to do. Fuck! God damn it! Just putting these words down here, maybe we can like brainstorm something with this. Could they be like failed were creatures? Werewolves, werepigs, wereboars. Like when you cross like when you infect an animal with like were energy, you like a pure animal, you create like something like this, like a centaur. That's where their origins were, and they evolved away from this. I think if there were creatures, they would be like very little. But I don't wanna rule them out just because I like the idea of were creatures in a city setting. The imagery of being like in like a tower or something like that, and the were creature unravels. It's like, haha, I was a werewolf all along, and then you put like a silver bullet in them. It's like kind of cool. I think like lycanthropy and stuff like that should be like a thing, but I'm like thinking how we could like put this in, because if we do like crabs, horses, frogs, stuff like that, how about we say maybe we can go with failed were creatures of I was thinking about that, but that would like be the problem is if we do this, so much of the centaurs needed to be like rewritten, and that is to like adding like your elves cannot have vampirism as like a byline is like, yeah. But that is like a little bit too much, I think. I think that then we get like into like actual game, like deeper game design, and how the ancestries work, and that this is like a gimmick attached to something that does not need it, right? It's like a little bit. It would be a little bit like over the top. The idea would be like still to this day, as if you agree with this, like I don't know if we strayed already from that path. To like keep them functional how they are, but rewrite them all together that they still somewhat fit, right? That instead of, I don't know, orcish tattoos, it's just like orcish, I don't know, not the facial tattoos, it's just dynasties tattoos that give you like a magical power or something like that, right? Where they don't have masks, they have tattoos or something like that. I think that is like the easiest thing to rewrite. Because the orcs have like so many feats with like masks. This like hand-woven away with like one line, but the were creatures are a bit much. It's like yeah, I think we should keep them horses. I'm still thinking of that bowjacking. Is this the face of our horse people? Do they have their origins in orcs? Don't get me banned. Okay. That's the Centaurs of World of Warcraft, right? They're like... Oh, you mean the, what's it called? Musuma, right? These girls, right? But they're like... I'm not scrolling further down. If we can go, I mean, these centaurs are also not human, right? They have like elf ears. They're like pretty much what we do, right? I mean, this like very basic World of Warcraft classics thing, right? But they're like pretty much like also very hairy creatures with like too much hair on everything. They also have like the long face and stuff like that. I think we go with that, or we say they are half orc. And they are experiments. Like, if we had like so possible routes, right? Number one, they are horsemen, like actual horsemen. They are failed were creatures, which still would work with like certain things. But it would like be very weird. We could make them, if we don't, if we make them, for example, just like bipedal, quadrupeds, right? As like lower halves, that would work as well. If it's say, okay, you can be any quadruped. You can be a wolf, you can be a horse, you can be a cat, if you will, right? So we have the lamias in. So lamias are the same species. Or we do, just like as a thing, orgs, loving their horses too much during druidism times. The word horse has just now all left lost all meaning. I like that, but like I think the problem with these is like I think that if oh my god, why is it A now? Oh god. On D&D Beyond. Oh yeah, this guy. I remember. Dude, can you please stop? Oh my god, accept all, please. Fuck off. Yeah, this looks like a horseman, right? Yeah. What are the Pathfinder centaurs look like again? Are they not like elfish? Well, no, they're pretty much human. Right, the images are all gone. I forgot that they lost the license, but you have like the Google link still. But this looks like very much human, right? This is like, I'm not even kidding. This looks very much like an elfish centaur of in our setting, except for the horns, right? Can we like with a split lip and stuff like that? It looks very much like an elfish centaur in our setting. Yeah, goat person, true, that more like that. But I think we take this guy, right? I think D&D had it right there. Either we take this guy or we take the horsefucker orcs. I think were creatures are just too much of a ask. Even though they would be cool. But no. We could make that a thing. That's a good idea. Okay, let's do it like this. Horseman from the... Yeah, you're absolutely right. Places. Now I need to see the East Continent. I need to get familiar with names again, dude. I had them in my head for like quite a while. I mean, we have Eolchina, right? We send them to Eolchina, so they're like in the east. As far away from our cows as possible. Many historians and biologists track the centaurs, capital letter, centaurs back, the orcs, and a common ancestor of the two. Centaurs never settled properly. I think centaurs should be like the roaming guys, right? They should not have like anything to do with like settling and stuff like that. They took their belongings always with them, and everywhere they went, they formed their village anew for a short period of time. Question: do we make everything up, or am I allowed to take creative liberty of names of someone who really gave me an idea of something with a character they already played in another setting that we will never get to? What I want to go down to is that one of my players who plays in all sessions basically played a centaur, and he made a very, very good centaur village. And had like a very cool structure, and including this would be very cool, but I don't know if I would use it because it would be like a thing for him. Is he online? 1 second. I wrote him. I need to do like a certain, I need to do another web browser. Into my Google Drive, because I think I have all the backgrounds from the beginning of all of our sessions in there. Okay, I got the okay. Bro, I see my old session notes and I was so bad at taking session notes. Oh my god. I need to do one or two things in the background. Give me just like 1 minute. Bro, I was drunk during that session, I feel like. Okay, I think I have what I need. So, how they did it and like how the player did it was the following. He had like certain casts of like centaurs, like basically working together, right? And like casts in cast system, and there was like an earth cast. Earth, water, fire, wind, and everyone had like basically a different like idea, and they would be like united under one like chief in the end. And there's like there's like there's a totem as a symbol of peace. Basically, this is like basically how they work, and there's like different casts working together, right? There's like the water cast, is like many out of spellcasters. The earth cast many like warriors, right? Wind is like protectors basically, and fire, I think fire was clerics. So basically you have like these different casts that work together, right? We're not using it one-to-one. Basically the Tau, right? Yeah, from the basic idea of the Tau. But at the time they were like settled in the village called I take the name, the village was called, I need to see if I had it now or not. Give me 1 second. Second monitor. That's why I need the third monitor, so I can like Andara Finale. Akora, okay. So they would call the village Akora, and it would always move with the clans. So basically they had like this like village in the plains and they lived there together, but they were like raiders. Like basically. I don't want to take everything, I just want to take the name. The name is very good. Akora is very good as like a name for like a moving village. So we could make them like the Tau and make them like... I think they would be, right? Which is why they do not settle, because I think they would not like to disturb the lands of the giants, right? Do we make them giant worshippers, is the question. We could make them also something else. We don't need to make them elemental like worshippers necessarily. That was like just the idea of the player. I like the idea of that, however, right? That everyone has like an elemental attunement, quote unquote. And it would make sense that many of these like become kineticists, right? Because centaur kineticist seems to be like a very, very like... like... Yeah, that is something. Because I feel like they would like be the kineticist people, right? I think they would like turn into like the guys who use kineticism. Because the thing is with kineticists, they don't need to carry much equipment with them. And that would make sense for like a folk that travels around the world a lot. As of large. I don't know. Is a kineticist born? Yeah, I think so as well. A kineticist is basically like randomly awakened, right? The power of the elements flows from within you. Roaring fire, blah, blah, blah. A kinetic gate inexplicably tied to your body channels power directly from the elemental planes, causing elements to leap to your hand. Whirl around your body, blah. As your connection to the planes grows, you attain true mastery over your chosen elements. But now it's like chosen, right? So is a kineticist chosen or is he born? PF2E are kineticists born. Kinesis Lawyer has an interesting journey. Its initial conception in 1E Occult Adventures was more to the represent characters whose instincts and emotion caused uncontrolled kinetic fiery outbursts, like Charlie McGee or Carrie. Okay, so going by the comparison to Avatar-style benders was made by the players, much to James Jacobs' chagrin, but so many people ended up role-playing their kinesis like that that it stuck. So they're basically benders, right? So going by both media archetypes, the general vibe does seem that kineticists are mostly born, either with powers they have to improve and master, or that kick off in puberty and have to get it under control. That doesn't necessarily preclude any person working their way to kineticist. Okay, they're born. Okay, that is very practical. That helps us. It makes like society very different, right? Okay. So they're born. I like the idea that you proposed, that they follow the giants and then basically they just follow them and move their clan wherever their giant eventually lays down to rest. So most centaurs have a natural connection to the elemental realms, creating no, and thusly from birth they gain access to kinetic powers from this plane. What kind of power you are born with puts you in a clan of centaurs. These clans allied with their giant protector, with their well, do they see the giants as like their patron deities? So what we do is like, I think they would like see them as like either they worship the giant or the elements that govern its form. No, yeah, I think they worship the giants, right? With their would be protectors, the giants. Then we would like need to rewrite the giants as well, right? That could be the better way, because at the moment I think only the kitsune are just like their true bodies, right? With your element awakening within you, the centaurs within them, the centaurs would put the newborn into clans with the same abilities. Each clan had the mission to tend to a giant seen by the centaurs as something akin to angels, sent to Ezeko on an eternal pilgrimage. Right? I think they would do like this, where they just like, okay, you're born, for example, with like metal gates, right? And this metal gate allows you to cast metal. Here's Steely the Giant. Please follow him around the earth, because he's on a pilgrimage to find the metal plane or something like that. while the giants wandered, they would remove any person or animal that would that could possibly disturb the giants' pilgrimage while tending to the land and those tending to the land when the giant was slumbering. So basically they just follow the giant, they ride around, they just murk everybody who is like getting close to the giant, because the giant is on its pilgrimage. Please do not disturb. Do not touch. And then when the giant rests, they just tend to the land. They just do like farmland and stuff like that, right? Okay, so they're doing this, right? Now we have like your ideas in. Now the next question is, what do we do? This is like very prehistoric, right? They're like just running around following giants. What do we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? I'm thinking. Okay, we have now they have like they're tending their bodies, they run around, they do their thing. Now we get into like Orcish Uprising, right? How does this happen? What do they do? Orcs enter Eolchina and try to subjugate its species. Exactly, and the lizard men are on the same continent, right? They're also, he said also the lizard men are also from the east, right? Lizard folk, I think we did. Lizard nomads from the east, yes! So we have lizards on the same continent. We just realized this out of nowhere. So we have the option to get lizards involved with them, in theory, or not. We have established that the orcs cannot deal with nomadic people when they got their stuff. I love that like so many in the east are just nomadic. The orcs The orcs in the western wastes of the continent were beaten by the lizard folk, an adversary that the centaurs did not want to engage due to their wicked magics. This thinned the orcish forces to the point that even the smaller clans of rarer elemental attunements had no problem dispatching of invading forces in the lands of the centaurs. I think they get like bloodied as well from the centaurs. Like they try to funnel down on the lizard folk because the lizard folk are just more important to them, right? The horsemen just like are a hassle, and I think they would need the lizard folk to beat the centaurs. I think they cannot, like, realistically, the orcs, with how militarized they get and with how mundane they become, like even with like elfish help, the centaurs just outspeed them, and they know where the giants are. I think when like the first orcish invasion force sees like the centaurs and they just like tap their feet hard enough to wake the giant, and the giant just goes apeshit on the orcs, I think they just leave it and say, okay, we need the undead. The undead will help us, right? Everyone we lose gets to fight like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, and then the lizard men start killing themselves in the general direction. Yes, it's like basically like they militaristically fighting the centaurs. Yeah, that is true. Especially with like the I imagine like if you have like a majority population of kineticists to one like level or another. Maybe some are just like not like really attuned and they get like put into like warrior roles. But when the general like stuff happens, right? And the centaurs fight, I think when does the kineticist blast? When do they get like reach? Kineticist blast P2E. Yeah, when does it become a ranged attack that has like the ranged trait? Does it need 1 action or 2 actions? With a wave of the hand, blah blah blah. If you make 2 action blasts, you gain the status bonus to the damage equal to the Constitution modifier. Okay. It works with 1 action? Okay, that's nice to know. So they would like do elemental blast, right? Yeah, I'm just reading it up. So if we do this, right, like a centaur has a base speed of 30. So they're like outrunning the orcs by default, right? They're just like faster than any orc that would run after them. Like with one action, they would outspeed. The fastest orcs would like keep up pace, but move, blast is like a valid strategy for them. Just like harassing them and like skirmishing with them. And I think the orcs don't have an answer to this except for elves. I think that's the only answer they have at the time, because the halflings they don't have, and nobody else has the tech to like properly fight them. And that's why they need undead just to like surround them. Lands on the centaurs. I think the unlearned ones would become most likely, and I say most likely, become like monks, barbarians, and rangers. I think that's the most common like unattuned fighters. Because monks and barbarians, because of speed and like of course like raw power. And like the ability like to stun people with the monk. With the barbarian, it's just like, okay, you barrel through people. Like Mauler archetype would be like a standard thing. And then of course like the ranger because of like bowmanship. I think these bastards are really hard to kill by themselves. Because they're like mounted anything you want them to be. And that is like something that is very, very strong. Yeah, exactly. Monastic archery as well, yeah. I just like the idea of like animal companions and shit like this, where they just send like an animal at you to just harass you even more. I think like the general idea being just like they just like use everything, like talk shit, don't get hit, right? It's like that's what they do. I can also see them like being like swashbucklers very easily. Yeah, I think so, right? I think like Eochina is very much the hard counter continent. I think the orcs again would like go Renar because that's easy. They would go Korokna, Tarochokna is like where they originate. They will go to Mia Racina because that's where they just take the most land and the most people. And then they go to the Crown Lands, and then the Crown Lands they do their stuff, and then the Heritage War breaks out. I think they have like nearly global domination, but like Eochina is just like the one that is like really hard to take because of like who lives there. We should also have, because we established that Eochina has like wastelands and a volcanic area, like a volcanic desert and stuff like that, and like plains. I think that's where like many of the giants just like go by default, right? I need to write. So Let's think. Okay. So this thin out the orcs to the point of that even the smaller clans for rare elements, the legitiments, dispatching of invading force, blah 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 blah. So we have the orcs don't come through. In the meantime, many of the giants that were disturbed by the meddling of the orcs would tend to walk towards Aelchina for some mysterious reason. This made the clans unite for the first time in Centaur history. I think for some reason many of the giants, or like most of the giants they know about, like there's some to the west and of course like some to the south and so on. Like there's like not all giants are like chilling on this continent now, but many of them just come back and now the clans are reuniting. And the centaurs should interpret this as something. And I feel like it's like a call to like basically like a call to put them all together as like one tribe, as like a prime tribe. Until like the Aetherflood happens and then giants like waking again and just like piss off the piss off somewhere else, so they don't get like aethered, right? I think that's like how I imagine them like to go. Maybe we can like rewrite this if you disagree with this. I'm happy to like to rewrite there. Because then we can say the chieftains met and hold a proper discussion Yeah, I think so that they get more aggressive. Again, we want them to be like raiders at some point for a very long time. And like, especially after the Aetherflood. I think they should just double down on their shitty behavior. I feel like they're like very, like, they enable themselves when they're together. I think like as lone clans, they just do their thing and they just like kill what's around them. But like as like a unit, they enable the worst of them, right? About this behavior of the giants and decided that the erratic behavior was a call to war against the orcish invaders. This is better. Do they get counterclapped? Because now they're on the offense. On the defense, the Centaurs are very strong. Are they strong on the offense as well? I think if they go on the offense, they're pillagers. They should be good at this, right? Why would they be bad at this? Like, what would there be a reason? Would there be a reason why they would be bad against the orcs? In theory, no, right? True. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. Bro, I'm so sorry. I forgot they existed. One of the most important people in the setting, and I forgot they existed. This drove the Centaurs to into I feel like they get mowed down by gun lines pretty much. Yeah. We can keep that. Akoa would become their central hub for raiding parties and the clans alike. This marked a time of unity where all elements would work with one another unquestionably. I think we should put it in that they like lose their do they lose the giants in the wind up towards the War of Unity, or do the orcs druids mess with the connection? At the moment we are like in the Orcish Uprising, right? So we would need to have Heritage War first, and I think in the Heritage War would they do something with the giants? Because right now we have like we are still in front of the Heritage War. But I think they should have like a time of like, oh yeah, we are working all together, and there should something be happening to drive them all apart, so they all have like their own they all get into like their own clans again, and those clans do their own stuff, right? So how about yeah, you're absolutely right. Because it makes the orcs as a global threat very, very weak. We just depower scale the orcs everywhere, I feel like. Right, the orcs as like a global threat, like in the east they just like are a joke. In the west, like with the Nagashi, they were like a serious threat. And then like the orcs realize they don't need the Nagashi and they leave them alone, right? That's like the reason why they don't kick their shit in. In the Crownlands, they just win, and everywhere else, they just win. Did we ever do the Vanara properly? I don't remember if we actually got no. Vanara is still also on the table. I forgot about these. Yikes. I did like a little bit of like the Vanara are in the north. I put them in Renar because Renar was unpopulated. I said like we did like a mountainscape up here. And I put them like basically like we put them like basically there, just so they're somewhere else. So this continent is like inhabited by someone. And I think the orcs just wanted to say hi again. Yeah, hi Gara. And I think they should get their shit also kicked in by the orcs, just so we're like on the same page on this one. But it doesn't matter, we're on the centaurs. When they felt safest. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. The orcs started surgical counterattack. While yeah, exactly. I'm killing off the giants right now. Give me 1 second. While the centaurs were occupied with a surprise attack on Arcoa, Orcish forces waited out the moment that the centaurs would aggravate the giants to step in and clean up. With their experts on the ley lines and the help of their subjects, the orcs found out about the different weak spots of the giants protecting Arcoa. Taking down giant after giant with impeccable precision. With alacrity. Okay, with alacrity. I think what they do is, yeah, I think what they do is just the orcs were like never they were the ultramarines in another species codex. The thing is, I feel like what happens is the orcs just get driven back and they're like, okay, fuck, we cannot beat these horses, right? And they're like getting desperate and they're like, okay, every time we get to them, they get the giants in. And some like leyline experts are like, wait, giants? We have books about them. If they're the same guys that our ancestors 1,000 years ago roundabout told us about, that would be like incredible because we could kill them. And then they just fuck around and found out instantly that they are the same guys, because the centaurs, like from the beginning of time, were tending to the same fucking giants because they never died. So the orcs who like scribed these guys, like the thaumaturges, right, knew, okay, they have weakness me now, and just hit the weak spot and they explode. This drove the clans apart again, with those who did not stay to fight regrouping in their smaller clans, trying to survive not only in the wilderness and also in orc occupied land. I think they should lose like a lot of their land. And now they just menace around until the end of their heritage war, right? That is a good thing, yeah. The orcs gave an ultimatum. Bend the knee or more giants die. Do they become subservient for a small time? I think we're like round about like shortly before the heritage war starts, right? Because the elves are already liberated at this point, because we have gnomes and goblins show up. Then this all happens, and then they like, it's not long until they just revolt, right? Do some clans get subjugated? Because if some clans would get subjugated, that would make more sense, right? Like, they are now split up. They just, like, took their stuff and left. Would it be that way? Are the giants more important to them than their own lives? Yeah, true, true. Because I would think that they would, like, logically, they would do it the other way around, where they are like, oh yeah, the guys who still have giants give up, and the other ones. Yeah. Those who lost their giants were Jesus Christ, ostracized by the other clans and fell under orcish rule. This would create tensions between the clans that would still be present in the modern day. I think they're like still like angry. And then like they're like doing their stuff, right? They're like chilling apart from one another. They're like still hitting and running. Do the orcs actually follow through with giant killing? Or do now the lizard folk kick their fucking legs? I feel like the lizard, it would be funny if the lizard folk come in and just kick their nuts, right? Like they want to kill the giants and the lizard folk are just like... Yeah, I think so as well. But would the, like again, with the orcs, because not everyone bent the knee, would they kill more giants? Would they know how many centaurs are left? Because this is like a very crucial point, right? If the yes and no, yeah. The question is like, if they kill more giants, this should be like included. That is true. You know what we do? Even though an attempt of reconciliation. I cannot write for shit, man. Reconciliation by the centaurs. Yeah, true that. Was made the orcs would kill another giant, causing a mass awakening across the continent, Eolchina. With the giants traveling towards the sea. With the centaurs not being able to follow, they doubled down on their ways as raiders and warbands. Yeah, that's why I wanted them to migrate to Eolchina over time, because I feel like that would be the spot where they just like don't get like Aetherflooded, right? Like setting the seed early that the Aetherflood is coming, because I feel like the Nameless God would maybe know what would happen, or would have like an inkling of what would happen to him. I don't want to give the Changeling omnipresence, but I want to give him a little bit of like augury, right? Like actual augury, not like the DM says maybe. With... Yeah, exactly. It should know that it gets nuked at some point, probably. Like a little bit. Like, it's one of the visions. And so like... it stirs at the ley lines to move the giants out of the way, because I think we still have like the giants being like okay with the Changeling, right? follow and feeling forsaken. And then when they do this, when they become rares and 4-bet, I think we should have now Heritage War, right? Raiding continues. I think oh fuck, I forgot about the orcs would turn to the lizard folk after acquiring new servants to their cause. Okay. Raiding continues. Did they do more than raid during the Heritage War? Did they make first contact truly with the elves as like allies? Because in the pre-times they would not have met elves properly. Because the elves were subjugated and then like I think so, right? We made it so that like many of them turn necromancer because the lizard folk are just like throwing scrolls around. Ex-slaves turn necromancer by through the help of the lizard folk. I like this. This caused a stir in the earth when an entire clan of... What would they have been before? What do we have as gates? Do we say they were like... What did they worship before? Before they said, okay, life and death. Maybe wood? Fire would be good. Fire worshippers. Yeah, that's a good analogy. This caused a stir on the earth when an entire clan of fire worshipper turned. I think so, right? Did we forget that with the lizard folk with Phoenix? That they like tried to like subjugate try to have Phoenix pets? The flesh of the dead, hunting animals of the group consider birds of prey, raptors. Strong, the mightiest mages would ally with strong elementals like phoenixes. Okay, let's get back to the centaurs. Turn necromancer. what was left of the giant fused. Do we have like through fire flames? No. Dude, I was like, is this through the fire flames in the background? But no. Fused itself with the bodies and bones of the fallen, spread across its body, creating an undead abomination. The undead giant. Why do I see like a Titan from Attack on Titan just fucked up on this? Like, actually. I think that is like pretty much what happened, right? They just like fought them in like the volcanic lands. Then like there was like a lot of dead people, and there's like the orc was like, boss, and the other one, shut up, boss. The horse is just reanimated a volcano, and the boss is like, pah, don't make shit up. We killed that giant. And just the giant just groans and says, orkies and horsies, throwing like shit at them. That would be fun. Do we give is the Undead Giant still existing? And if so, do we give it a name? Because it's the only one. I think so, right? Because it's still a giant. Most of the giants survived most of the Aetherflood, right? They're just pissed off like somewhere else where they don't get like permanent Aether corruption and don't fall apart. So I think it would... that continent is so uninhabited, dude. This continent is just like you have like I mean everyone is fucked, right? Like the entire world is at the moment fucked. It unfucks itself over the next millennia, but like, you know, you have like the Kolo and the Orcs here. They have like their little like pseudo Chinese dynasty stuff going on. You have the people going here who this content in my opinion is like nearly more uninhabitable, right? Because you have like a giant ass maze. We established there's a giant labyrinth in the middle of this thing. Then the Crownlands. I feel like the Crownlands are just like the best place to live in, right? They're just like the best. If you want to live somewhere in Eziko, Crownlands. Why does it zoom in all the time? And then you have like Renar, it's just like ice. It's like a Dark Souls game, yeah. And then El China, which looks kind of nice. You know what it looks like? I'm trying to like move the map a little bit. It looks like an Easter Island figure, right? If you look at this, it's like this is the eyebrow over here, right? Then this is the eye socket, where the eye socket would be, the nose, and then it's like the mouth. It was like a big lower lip, but then you have like a chat chin. I see, but yeah, we have not established this. We have not put the volcanoes in there because this map is very beta. But this continent is just like the eastern continent is just fucked, dude. We have like the lizard folk who are just like throwing undead at their problem and then like play dress up darling with them. You have the centaurs who are like, yeah, we're taking care of our titans, lol. And then the orcs invade. And then there's like the undead wars because the fucking lizard folks say, oh, you know what? You know what? Undeath is just a state of being and it's something to be shared. How about we just give you that? Dude, imagine being like the poor sod on the Mirror Belt living on this little island over there. I know it's like hundreds of kilometers away, but like, and then you like see the rift in the sky opening, right? And then like the fucking undead giant gets spawned, right? I think this is like something in like a survival game with like many players, like Rust or something like that, where there's like global messages, and I think this is like the global message. The undead giant has been spawned, and then like there's like these like poor Nagashi in their pyramids on the other side of the planet, and they're like, the what? It's like, this world is so fucked, dude. It's like a world boss event. Bro, half of these people, imagine what the, at this time the halflings still exist, imagine what they are thinking, dude. Do the halflings even know what a giant is? While Doom music is playing while they fight against the hordes of the mutated underground, dude. Meanwhile, somewhere the humans spawn and they're like, well, we had giants. They were like 3 meters tall. And then like, hi. Lizard. What is lizard? Crash Test UK. Lizard people, probably, right? Anyway, hi. So let's go back. Let's go back to the centaurs. But imagine they would get this the world boss event message. The fuck's a giant? They look like the fuck is a giant. Meanwhile, the humans have it the best, to be honest. They're just like out of plane, right? They're just like talking to the patron and like, yo god, what is going on? Tell us, right? Tell us about this planet. And Saint Amatus, they mutated the space squad, the space squads. No, they don't. They don't. But like the humans just chill in like the plane of death with like the Grim Reaper. Squatted. Yeah, that's true. But like the humans just chill with like the Grim Reaper and ask, yo, what is this planet like? And like the Grim Reaper, Saint Amatus, just facepalms and says, dude, they spawned the Undead Giant. Anyways, let's go back to the centaurs. We memed enough. It's a bit silly, to be honest. And then like, so anyway, you will go to like an Orcish dynasty. They will sadly, like for a few hundred years, will put you into their service. And you will need to work your way out. Have fun. This Undead Giant thing is like a problem for you in the 1,000 years. And the humans, like humans are like, 1,000 years, who gives a crap? Anyways, let's go back. Okay, they created the Undead Giant. Do the clans reunite? Because at the moment they're like split apart, right? Do they become nomadic again? Intrusive thought. Okay, intrusive thought. Hit me. What do you mean with they made themselves a Prometheus? Uh-huh. They used the volcano giant and made it, they literally unchained Prometheus from his throne. That is like a cool, actually like a cool sentence. May I be allowed to like copy this? Like, may I be allowed to copy this for the humans as like a thing they can say, like as like a saying? Because that would be a very good phrase. But yeah, oh, from Bill and Ted, true! Oh my god. Boom. Let's put that into phrases and metaphors. Okay, let's go back. So they unchained Prometheus from his rock, and now what? So you say, so now you have like a very angry Titan, right? Yes. It is pissed and on fire. Yes, that is a very good point. Because giants, we said they take like a very long time to reincarnate, right? Like to be like born anew, like a giant of that element. Only if the conditions are right, right? He desperately wants a hug. I think the undead giant of fire and brimstone does. Maybe he does want a hug. During that time. So we end up with a new generation of centaur voters focusing on earth and fire over the other elements, but also necromancers who take the place of the shaman, because the old channels of communication don't no longer work. Yeah, during that time. I agree with that. Just let me get into my creative juices again. During that time, newborn centaurs were bound to be attuned to earth of... I cannot write earth. Earth or fire. And those who were not being taught the art of necromancy to talk, to communicate with their new giant protector. I think this is like the darkest time for them, right? Where they just like rely on like only 2 elements and the rest until like new giants are born. I think during the Heritage one, no new giants are born, except for that one weird centaur who was into water for some reason. Kept saying that he had invited as a swan. Dude, those still, the waters and stuff like that still exist, but they don't get stronger. So I mean, like, he would identify as it would be funny if we would have gone with the idea that the centaurs are just like, okay, our legs can be whatever, and then you have like the crocodile or the whatever that shoots fire. Or 4 duck or swan legs, that would also be funny. New giant protector. The other elemental attunements died out during the Heritage War. But, and that is very important, they died out during the Heritage War, right? The water kineticists, the air kineticists, the metal ones, they all die out. But the new shared belief in the undead giant, who still has no name, united the centaurs once more. I think they would unite under him, and then like over time, now we get to the point where like the Heritage War just like goes on. The centaurs do their raiding parties. They talk to and appease the undead giant. So for the rest of the Heritage War, Akora. The fuck crash test? What? So Akora was the name of the village. I want a name of this like creature that basically screams, if you enter a boss room with it, it shows a boss health bar and has a name. Greta. No, it's not Greta. Greta's not a good name for a boss. I think, well, not necessarily. It can be a good name for a boss, actually. Depending on, like, what it is, but not for giants. We need something with oomph. We need something with, like... the Molten Pinnacle. Yes! The Molten Pinnacle. Or we could say, like, like, I was, like, thinking, like, the Twice Lift or something like that. But the Molten Pinnacle is good. Name for undead giant molten pinnacle ? For the rest of the Heritage War, the centaurs appeased the will of their giant, going back to their original roots. I think this should be Heritage War, because then we get to the point where it ends, right? And then we go pre-Aetherflood. Because I don't think we should like go to, like, if we go too much into Heritage War and stuff like that, it takes like, Heritage War is very important for the world history. Very, very important. Because it's like the emancipation from the Orcish slave masters, right? Sinno's Kag for the Giants. Should we go with Greek as a root language because of Akora? We could go with Greek. Pre-Aetherflood, let's do this. Agora is Greek, okay. We could go with like Greek as a base language. But again, wait. We should like fantasize it enough that it's not Greek, because we decided against making the Orcish language anything that relies too much on like real life language, because it said I don't want to have this again. We had like for like 3 or 4 campaigns. We need to stop. Not everything can be French and English and stuff like that. Agora plays market. Give me 1 second. That could be. Give me 1 second, I will try something. My standard tactic for finding campaign names, which never fails. Oh my god, is this long. Bro, how can Greek be such a long language? Let's see that. Okay, I have an idea for this. How about if we go with Greek? The Molten Pinnacle sounds. Can we please go with Fido? What is Fido? What is Fado? Fido? Okay, yeah, we can do this. Then I agree. Let's try to like kick the Aetherflood in the shins, so we just like get a little bit further, because I think I will do 45 minutes and then I will head to bed, so I don't fuck up my biorhythm. Let's do Aetherflood quickly. So pre-Aetherflood. Centaurs. No, we do Giants revive. Slowly. The Centaurs gained their gates back. Everyone newly born. Yeah, I think they get plunged into civil war, right? Newly born gets put into subservient clans below earth and fire. All serving under the necromancers who held the power of communing with Fido. Those that want to keep necromancy around was also on the shaman said, okay. A rebellion was started when the powers of the elements resurfaced on in Akora, resulting yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense. Yeah, resulting in a dispute between those who wanted to keep the necromancers and the undead giant strong, and those who wanted it destroyed and regrow naturally like its brethren. And then we have like the rebellion starts. They are like doing their thing, right? They fight. And then like I think what happens is Borea, chosen by the giants themselves, emerged from the crowd, killing the necromancers with their allies. I want to get like a little bit of like, there's like a champion all of a sudden that just like murders them with their allies. The kineticists are just like, the necromancers just get like torn apart at some point. But then the giant still walks. I think they wait for the Messiah to like, we put like a Messiah thing in there where like the undead giant walks the earth and someone needs to put it down at some point, right? And they say, well, someone who is a centaur at heart will kill it. So if a party of idiots who are not centaurs kill it, they say, oh no, it was a centaur at heart. Again, the necromancers with their allies. And making and creating a totem of unity with parts of all tribes. With all parts of all clans to symbolize that centaurs are strongest when working together. This hero would find his untimely demise at the hand of the giant he swore to destroy. with his dying breath. Whoops. With his dying breath, he uttered, "Someone with the heart of a true centaur will strike this beast down one day." I think like the hero they had that just died, the idiot that just went to like that Titan and just said, okay, 1v1 me, bitch. Just like says, oh, someone who will be a true centaur will become like the true champion, right? And then we go into the path where they try to be more chivalrous. It would be funny, yeah. No. I think again, we also said that they do not respect anyone but the but our foxy friends, right? They tolerate them enough. I think they would just be pissed at the centaurs because they, like in the past, also they awakened them just like to like we established that they would awaken them as like a last resort. And I think those giants are just like really like min-maxing their sleep schedule, I feel like. Yeah, I think the bond of symbiosis would break there. Yeah. Of a newborn giant. Strike that undead beast down one day. His death marker. I feel like they want an avatar that reunites all of the clans properly, right? That represents all of the clans. And I think they thought the hero, because they made that totem to symbolize that, but he gets smacked. While trying to receive the blessing of all the elements. A crucial turning point for the centaurs. Not only was their chosen one dead, but they realized that the giants were their closest allies once were truly reborn without memories or attachments. Striking deep distrust in the newborn. This would open up a new tradition. However, Many clans would send out their strongest warriors, their bravest members to receive the blessings of the giants to become a being called do we keep the chosen one? Do we call it the avatar? Do we call it the unifier? Captain Unisex. A new being allegedly representing the will of the elements of Ezeko, yeah. Allegedly representing the will of the elements on Ezeko. The next thing would be definitely that this would like I'm thinking one step ahead right now, and the dying words of the hero would be interpreted as no one being no non-centaur able to achieve this goal, reinforcing the still ongoing practices of raiding and pillaging. I think they never stop this really, because they absolutely think that the true hero, that their chosen one, would be definitely a centaur. Oh, do they know if randomly just like Steve the Humans comes along and is born in the right gates that he will win this? Are they hit badly by the Aetherflood? You know what? Let's put a pin in that. Let's get this finished on Monday. I think Aetherflood, War of Unity, and Modern Times should be Monday. Because if we go too deep into this right now, we have like a lot. Like, this is longer than some other species have, because we have like much prehistoric stuff, right? They take themselves out of the Heritage War very much, but like, I feel like Aetherflood, they could do a lot. War of Unity, they don't do much, I feel like. And then Modern Times, they're like raiders, right? They are like one of the true surface dwellers. But I think we should go onto this on Monday, because I need to brainstorm a little bit more. Because right now we're just going back and forth between, yeah, they're element guys. Yeah, they're pillaging, by the way. Yeah, they're element guys. And I think we need to like add a little bit of spice that I do not have the capacity right now for. So I would say, because we have like 6 hours of stream content today, you have like Pokemon in the early mornings, and then like at least like a little bit of writing. I know it was not much, but 2 hours is 2 hours. We will continue this on Monday. I think this is like a Monday thing. And then we also on Monday I just realized we have not done much with sprites, and we need to do still Vanara. And then we have also like on Monday. Monday will be like skeleton day, finishing the centaurs and maybe the Anadi, because they're like short. Regardless, I will head off because I'm tired. So yeah, I wish you a good night. We will see each other. Maybe I'm not promising anything. No, I'm not promising anything. If I would have the time tomorrow, I would write you on Discord if I have the time, and then we do more writing because we could not finish today. But anyways, I will head off. Thank you for watching and see you around. And yeah, goodbye, kisses and all. Wait, do I have someone to raid? I don't want to be a dick. Who's online? They're all so much bigger. That feels like very, very bad mannered. Oh god, look at this. Oh god, let's do this. Yes. Here's dog. Anyways, good night. I don't have someone to raid. I need to find more friends. Goodbye. Kisses.